Hey, CrossFitters. Welcome back. It's Coach Bob here, CrossFit Glen Burnie, Maryland Strong Fitness and Nutrition. Today, I've got a nutrition talk for us. Nutrition talk that we'll be going over today is 3 signs that you are eating too little. We just recently had a nutrition challenge, and we asked the participants which nutrition topic would they be most interested in hearing about. And we all voted. This one is a popular nutrition talk because oftentimes we don't really know, are we eating enough, right? And there's so much information that's out there, it's really confusing, right? To figure out what should I be eating, how much should I be eating? And so hopefully in this talk today, I'll be able to share some insights on that with you. So thank you so much for joining me on this nutrition talk about undereating, or more specifically, we're going to dive into the 3 signs that you may be undereating and explain why eating less is not always the best option. So our nutrition program is powered by Healthy Steps Nutrition. And at Healthy Steps Nutrition, we believe something as fundamental as nutrition should not be complicated. And that's why we focus on a simple habit-based approach to help you to reach your goals one step at a time. Okay, so Healthy Steps Nutrition has helped over 35,000 people around the world take control of their health. And here's just a few of their incredible success stories. And are you looking to create your own success story? Well, we know that while this is simple to do, it's far from easy. So first, we just need to figure out what is holding you back from reaching your goals. For many, it's chronically undereating. So Nicole, she's our dietitian. She put together Healthy Steps Nutrition, and she tells a story about someone who recently, not too long ago, walked into her office and told her about her weight loss journey that resulted in lackluster results. And Nicole says that during the conversation, she learned that her client was battling with her weight starting in her late teens and early 20s. She tried all and any diet that was out there, any fad diet, restrictive eating, calorie counting, shakes, anything else that you can think of. And over the years, her weight has shown some yo-yoing, right? Ups and downs, but ultimately not very much weight loss. She finally took a big breath and told Nicole, after explaining all those diets, she felt terrible. But I'm eating less and doing all the things I've been told to do to lose weight, but I'm still not losing weight. Nicole, what am I missing? What am I doing wrong? So this frustration in a weight loss journey is not unique. This happens all the time. Diet and culture tell us to eat less and lose weight, oftentimes promoting plans for less than 1,000 calories a day, if you can imagine that. So today, what I want to do is I want to talk to you about the 3 signs that you may not be eating enough and the reasons why eating less is not always the best path for reaching your goal. So, hey, let's dive in. Okay, first, I'd like you to start by explaining a few basics when it comes to our metabolism or energy balance, just to help us to understand why so many people struggle to lose weight and to keep it off when they're eating less. So, have you ever heard the saying, calories in, calories out? This is a general rule that if we take in more energy in the form of calories than we expend, then we'll gain weight, right? The opposite is also true, in that if we take in less energy than we expend, we'll lose weight. So some of you may be wondering if this rule is true. Then why is eating less not always the answer? Well, it turns out that many factors will influence that simple question. So I want to begin by explaining some of the factors that may alter intake. First, your appetite. As obvious as it may seem, your appetite is affected by hormones. You have two main hormones that we'll be discussing a little bit about today, which are called leptin and ghrelin. Leptin is the hormone produced by our fat tissues that signals our brains that we are feeling full. Ghrelin is released in the stomach, which is called our hunger hormone, and it tells us when we are hungry. This is important because when we drastically decrease our calorie intake, it affects our body's hormones. See, ghrelin will shoot up and it makes us feel hungry all the time. Think about the last time you were feeling really hungry, right? Okay, how hard was it to stick to healthy eating and to stay away from fast food or treats? You see, while hormones play a big role in influencing our intake, there are many other factors, including your environment. For example, studies have shown that people who consume more when eating with friends and people consume more when eating with friends and family than when you're alone. In addition, palatability, how good things taste, the reward of the food we're eating, as well as our mindset can influence our intake. Now, let's take time to briefly explain a few factors that may influence the energy output. First, you have a basal metabolic rate, BMR, right? This is the estimated amount of calories that your body's just going to need when you're at rest to continue the basic needs of living. But we also need to take into account the physical activity, which includes our day-to-day movements, such as going to grocery shopping, chasing our kids, vacuuming the house, as well as our more organized physical activities, such as running and doing workouts. Lastly, we're going to take into account the thermic effect of food and how much energy our body needs to break down or metabolize the food we consume. So, all right, I've explained why calories in, calories out statement isn't as simple as it sounds. So now let's discuss the 3 signs that you're under eating. Then we'll talk about why it may not be the answer for you, under eating, that is. Okay, sign number 1. You're constantly hungry, right? So you start out eating less. Now, all you can think about is the next time you get to eat. Haven't we all been there? This circles us back to those hormones we briefly discussed. So you see, when you eat less, your body signals for an increase in the release of ghrelin, which makes you feel super hungry. And when you feel more hungry, it can lead to increased portions, more frequent sneaky handfuls of pantry snacks, you know what I'm talking about, and over-consuming sweets when we finally succumb to those cravings. This will all lead to a surplus of calories, which will prevent your body from losing weight. Okay, we should be eating an amount when we should be eating an amount where we aren't feeling hungry, right? So while a decrease in calories may sound like the result is always feeling hungry, choosing more food options that provide more volume in your meals, like those non-starchy carbs, like your veggies, and balancing your meals and snacks is a great way to combat that. So one of the easiest ways to start balancing your meals is by reshaping your plate using the plate method. Okay, the plate method. You should fill up half of your plate with non-starchy veggies, a quarter with lean protein, and a quarter with the starchy carbs. This is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about balance. So here's a few pro tips. Number 1, eat your veggies and your protein first. Leave those starchy carbs for last. Number 2, remove the distractions like TV, phones, streaming, all that stuff, right? Take those away from your meal and your snack time. And number 3, eat mindfully. Set a timer and take 20 minutes to enjoy your meal. Number 4, push your fork down between each bite. That'll help you to slow down a little bit. Okay, sign number 2, you're moody. Okay, you know what comes with being hungry all the time, right? That feeling of hangry, right? So if you're moody all the time, that may be a sign as well. Did you know that in January of 2018, the word hangry was officially added to the Oxford English Dictionary? Okay, wow, what's going on? It is defined as a bad-tempered or being irritable as a result of hunger. So you started to eat significantly less. Your body's protesting by increasing the production of ghrelin, and now you may or may not be starting unnecessary fights with friends and family, right? This mood shift is a classic sign, folks, that you aren't eating the right amount to reach your goals. That's right. You're not eating the right amount. So what is happening that's causing that us to feel hangry? Well, when we start to eat less, our blood sugars start to drop. And when our blood sugar drops, it triggers a cascade of hormones, including increased cortisol, the stress hormone, an increase in adrenaline. This happens as a way for your body to fix the low levels of necessary blood sugar leaving and feeling us more agitated. So to stop this drop in blood sugar, consider eating smaller, more frequent meals, being consistent, right? And including balanced snacks between your meal times. This will help you to stabilize your blood sugar and keep you from feeling hangry. Okay, sign number 3, sleep and stress issues. Okay, so if you're having sleep and stress issues, listen up. Let's start with sleep. You have heard a lot about how sleep deprivation has been found to lead to insulin resistance and weight gain. It's true. But did you know that undereating while following strict dietary patterns can also interrupt the quality of your sleep? One study found that 10 young women dieting for 4 weeks, they found that the study participants had difficulty falling asleep and less overall deep sleep. Another study found that the starvation level calorie restriction led to a reduction of slow wave sleep, or just that deep sleep that we all need. This can definitely alter our stress, right? So a larger study of more than 2,500 Australian teens found that extreme dieting was not only associated with decreased quality of sleep, but also high levels of depression and anxiety, which is, it's just going to alter another important hormone in our healthy and wellness journey. So now let's talk about cortisol. Cortisol, also called the stress hormone because it's released in response to stress. Most of us have heard a lot about cortisol when it comes to inhibiting weight loss. If you are constantly limiting your intake, which leads to increased stress and lack of sleep, guess what? Your body's cortisol level is likely to be very elevated. And elevated cortisol levels will not help our metabolism. It's going to alter it, but it also causes our water retention, which may mask any loss of fat that we have going on anyway. It's a spiraling downward spiral, isn't it? Okay, if you have or have experienced mood shifts, a constant feeling of being hungry or hangry, sleep stress issues, you know what? Those are the 3 signs you may be eating too little. Now, here's the good part. Let's talk about why it is not always the answer. Eating less is not always the answer. So what happens when we undereat and your body doesn't get the energy it needs? Well, initially, the body's going to use the fat stores for energy, and that's how people will begin to lose weight. But over time, the body will adjust to this chronic calorie deficit of undereating, and metabolism will slow. So the body isn't burning the energy as efficiently, right? That's not good. And then the weight loss is eventually just going to stop because the metabolism slowed down, and it becomes extremely hard to maintain your weight eating anything more than a set number of calories your body has already adjusted to. Additionally, it becomes very, very difficult to lose weight from that point, despite hard efforts at eating clean and exercising regularly. So, guys, don't fall into this trap. Don't eat less. Let me help you out. We got to eat the right amount. Okay, after hearing all of this, you might feel like losing weight is a hopeless cause, right? But alas, that's far from the truth. I'm encouraging you to try thinking about it this way. Rather than focusing on the result of weight loss, focus on the journey the journey of building healthy habits. Rather than focusing on eating less calories, and let's focus on what you can do, right? You can eat more whole food options that provide fewer calories than the processed foods. Yes, processed foods are more convenient, right? But those whole foods provide way more vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, and volume and fiber. Rather than getting sucked into those fad diets, what I want you to do is, kind of get away from that endless cycle of undereating. Find a professional who can be your guide to help you to navigate, to build a plan, keep you accountable, and help you to reach your goals. At this point, you should be on the edge of your seat, just waiting for more ways that you can start eating the right amount with your goals. So I'm going to give you some tips here to help you to get started. With all the misinformation that's out there, we know that this can feel overwhelming. To start building your foundation here at CFGB and Healthy Steps Nutrition, we've got these principles that have helped so many people take control of their health one habit at a time. So, number one, add more whole foods to your diet. Yep, that's what we're looking for. Start choosing whole foods options and less processed packed or foods, right? They're packed in a box that are also packed with sodium, fat, sugar. A simple way, guys, to start this is by reshaping your plate with the plate method. We talked about it, but if you just have a plate that looks like this, okay, half non-starchy vegetables, a quarter lean protein, and a quarter starchy carbs, you're going to be more mindful and you're going to be using those whole foods options, not just something that comes in a box, guys. All right. So principle number two, let's focus on balance. And when we say balance, we mean, does every meal and snack that you consume throughout your day contain a carbohydrate, a protein, and a fat? Pairing each meal and snack with all three of these macronutrients are going to help keep you fuller longer. And principle number three, limit the added sugar. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 6 teaspoons for women and 9 for men. And the average person consumes over 150 pounds of sugar a year. Yeah, that's right. 46 teaspoons a day. It's not surprising. Sugar is super addicting and feels hidden in almost every food product that you find in a package. So remember, today we discussed the signs you may be eating too little, as well as why it is not always the answer. If you're ready to understand the best ways for you to reach your goals, now is the time to take control of your health and work with a professional to help you to find the best balanced foods and the right amounts for you. So we're going to provide a link in this video that you can team up with one of our coaches and get together for a coffee with a coach, and we can kind of go over some of the possibilities. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Looking forward to seeing you all. Take care. Peace. Have a great day. Bye now.